Bonjour
Yeah.
déjà.
Listen, we've been around a long time in here. And guess what? We're still hanging in there.
Okay.
It's really nice. That's it?
Take two.
You're not taking one? No.
Take two. Cut.
Hold on. Hold on. One more thing.
Cut.
One more thing?
Make sure you get the background. That lady in the back.
The lady in the back.
There's a lady in the back, okay? There's a lady in the back there that's very important. She's
Responsible
still-
for this whole thing.
She is, that's right. She is still here, and she's still working, and she's still doing fantastic stuff here. That's it. I don't know how she's going to keep on going, but she's got to keep on walking.
No me deja un minuto
Her
sentada.
first job was with Vogue Originals. 1955.
Correct.
And she was embroidery. It turned out to be that same guy, after many, many years, was doing pleating for us, remember?
Yeah. Yeah, it's good.
Yo
You're
llegué
doing
aquí
history.
el 3 de junio de
history.
His last name was
1955.
Benny Schwartz. That's his name. Vogue Originals, remember?
Yeah.
When you and your sister came to me about 4 years ago, trying to transform where I had my cutting tables into studios for art businesses and whatnot, I didn't think it was such a good idea. But I guess you proved me wrong. They're still there in business, and they've been successful.
Feel about the fact that you're one of the last, businesses that are still, still going.
Well, it's still, my business is still going on a very small scale. I don't know how long more is going to last, but eventually it'll be turned over to another art gallery.
Who's here still?
My brother's still here with my mom. She's 90 years old and she works full time, and she's happy, and as long as she keeps working, we'll have her here.
Mystery Live Miami.
Okay, first I'm going to show you some of the patterns. If you come back here, they're still hanging. This is some of the patterns that we used to have for dresses and blouses and whatnot, skirts. This right here is part of a cutting table that used to be upstairs. We're doing it now. My brother, since he has his business now, he does tablecloths and whatnot for other contractors. This is one cutting that he just did. So we still do a little bit of cutting and manufacturing, very small scale again. Underneath the table where we keep all our piece goods and rolls of material. Okay, there's a cutting machine. It's one of four that we used to have,
Where?
right on top of the table. It's a Blue Streak Eastman cutting machine. It was very popular then, might still be it.
Wait, what was it?
Blue Streak Eastman is a
Okay.
cutting
Jackson,
machine.
Come.
We used to have four of those. There's this spreader.
Okay, here you get to choose.
My brother's still doing some
Now, this is
sales,
one of the
you know.
samples that you
This
got in
lady
white,
has
but it's
owns a
blue
little
and
store
orange.
in North Miami.
This is the other one. You could choose. I'm
Hey,
going to bring you
Theo.
some more.
This is a
Hi. You could choose now. I'm going to bring you some more, okay? So you could choose, maybe you like this one better. Because the sample is on white.
This is called a spreader. That's where you put the rolls in here and you spread back and forth. This is a spreader machine.
This one, right here.
And here we kept all this stock on materials, right on the center area here that we keep. It's basically empty right now, but this is where we keep the stock. But, you know, it's been transformed into an art gallery per se, instead of a clothing business.
The industrial district of Wynwood, Miami, has long been known for its wholesale garment factories, Cuban coffee, and crime. However, some of these warehouses are now becoming galleries and alternative art spaces. While the older businesses are struggling to survive, a new demographic is taking over what is now being called the Wynwood Art District. Art Basel comes to Miami Beach every year for 4 days in December, transforming Wynwood into art fairs and warehouse parties. This change in the neighborhood may be for the better, but some feel it is headed towards just another example of urban gentrification, which makes for another case of bulldozing history.
My father actually used to have a carpet business right around the corner from here for a couple years, and it was one of those scary places you came to even during the daytime, as opposed to now where it's kind of like the hip little destination to stop off and look at art at, which is kind of crazy. And as fast as it's happened, because I want to say it's only been within the last maybe 2 or 3 years that the gentrification and this whole art migration to Wynwood really even happened. New York door policy. Welcome to the velvet rope. Here, ready? It goes like this. Welcome to the art fair. Come on in.
This is a work by Joseph Staskovich, and you probably think it's a photograph, but actually it's a drawing. It's a work on paper.
Hi, my name is Helen Allen. I'm the director of the Pulse Contemporary Art Fair. We have galleries from 13 different countries in Pulse Miami. Everything from Japan to Italy to Venezuela. And we debuted in Miami last year, here in Wynwood on Northwest 2nd Avenue. Well, these are clothing manufacturers. We've got an automotive shop on the other side of us, and who's been there for over 40 years.
And everything around here is galleries. Now, everything used to be factories around here.
Oh my God, wow, look at this place. Holy moly. How are you? Good, how are you, Paolo? Good. Good to see you. Long time. Yeah, last year.
It's clear that Wynwood is experiencing a cultural shift that is beneficial to the community, but who is preserving its colorful history and the locals from being driven out? Could Miami's art invasion be just a blip before this neighborhood becomes another outdoor mall?
The one thing that I fear is that the development is happening so quickly here that we will be at a loss for space.
Until then, both the old Wynwood and the new continue giving this neighborhood its own character and color.
A bit like spinning the wheel, you know, and that continuously during this week ask us to spin again and again and again. No? And as it happens, there is a sense of dislocation for anyone who comes or lives in Miami, because again, as Rosario said, east, west, north and south become one and the other
but
at the same time.
But also we are always very interested in fiction and reality.
Exactly.
So for the people who lives in the neighborhood, this is some kind of 5 days fiction. And for the people who come from outside, they don't know if it's reality or fiction. But this duality that we always live between fiction and reality is what interests us very much. And we see this neighbor, which is the real one, neighborhood, which is the real one, the one that we are seeing now or the one that we will see next week.
I enjoyed what I did for 32 years. I really had a lot of pleasure in that, in the business, in the garment business. But like I said before, everything comes to an end. And now there's a new thing happening with this art and in Wynwood. That's it's all over. Even I just heard it came out in the New York Times, even my building. So I mean, it's really great news, and I'm happy. But now it's time for my daughters to take over. then of course, next door and up, next door was a shipping room, which is now an art gallery. And upstairs, where you have the studios, were our cutting tables.
What are these shelves here? What were these?
Well, this is just we have stock. Right now, since we're buying and selling merchandise instead of manufacturing, these are mostly right now these tops, sweaters, and things like that needs to be by style number. And that's what we have right now. Here's a very interesting piece. This here, it's a mannequin. Since we used to specialize in large sizes, this was for fitting. Every time we make a new model, a new dress, we used to fit it in here. So this is what's called a fitting mannequin.
What's the light bulb on the top?
This must be actually the date here. No, this is 1965. That's when this mannequin, when we got this, even before my time. I bought it used.
That's when she was born?
She was born in 1965.
What's the light bulb on her head?
The light bulb is just an ornament.
What else? Show me
That's
the cash register.
That's about it.
Over there. What's that?
Oh, this is one. No, that's
You go behind?
That's an adding machine. That's one of our Remington old adding machines that we still.
Will you go behind and show me?
This adding machine right here must be also maybe 40 years old. We'll still have that. It's a Remington 211. And I'll show you where our shipping room used to be, which is back in here.
What's this red vest?
Oh, you cannot. I used to buy it when I started business, buy and sell merchandise. And one of the companies that we used to buy from was Jonathan Logan, very famous in the 60s. And we bought a whole bunch of this vests that they made for an outfit that had leftovers, about maybe, I don't know, about 100 dozen vests. This is what this is priceless. We will not sell this last piece here. I think I paid like $1 for them a piece, and we sold it, and they kept, reproducing. And we've had this for a long time. This was back in 1970. So this vest is we can't sell this.
Very special.
Priceless. And this is actually a little unique. This is different sizes. You put the poly bags for blouses, for pants, for dresses, depending on the sizes, depending on the length. This is called a poly bag machine. And this was a shipping room. This tape machine's also at least 40 years old. Still works.
How does it work?
Depending on the size, you push the button, you put the roll back here, and let's say you want 24 inches, and you press the button, and you press on, and it still works, but I guess it's not plugged in, yeah, it's 40 years old.
And what's this stuff? Who did all this?
I don't know, it's just tapes and stuff, there's a little shelf and things.
Who designed it?
My brother, of course, he's a designer of all these things. And that's it. This is the tour.
And what's this area?
This is the Miami Heat dancers. Actually, what year was this? Doesn't say, but this must be, oh, here you go, 1998. Miami Heat. I used to be Nick. He used to be my shipping clerk. He loved that. That picture inspires him to work with efficiency.
How many people were in Pinelli?
We had one time, about 14 working here, 14 persons, including secretaries, cutting room. There was 14 of us in here at one time. It was like a family. They all stayed. Till the very end, my shipping clerk and my secretary stayed with me until the very end when Nick, which is my shipping clerk, he came to me one day. He said, I got good news and I got bad news. I said, what is it? He said, well, the good news is I found a job as a security. The bad news, I hate to leave this place. That was his last words to me. He worked with me for 19 years. When he first started working with me, his wife says to me, my husband never lasted a year in one single job. And he lasted 19 years with me, but this is he protected this business more than I did. I would bring him an order to ship, and he would say, no, I'm not shipping this guy, he owes you money. That's how he really, but he was happy here. And I made him happy financially, of course. But we were like a family. It was nice. Get a little sentimental. Going back. You're cracking me up, but I'm trying to keep serious.
Because she's pointing, just take a look.
Mommy.
Alright, continuamos.
So, a really good sentence, which would kind of transition.
Da un poquito de agua.
I know. This little piece, that I'm trying to do here about like what was and what is now. It would be that sentence that Abel just said when my daughter came. When my daughter, here, Abel. When my daughters came to me.
Espérate, mami, ya, quiet.
Okay, so.
Why did you want me to look back there? ¿Para qué empezaste? Stop it.
Abuela, what are you doing?
Qué lástima que no vi esto antes, mira.
Ay, Dios mío. Don't stop looking. Ahora ya voy a entrar. No se mueven, ¿ok?
Continúan.
No se mueven, no se mueven, no se mueven.
Cinco segundos más. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.